Hey, YouTubers out there. Thanks for watching my show. Please subscribe to this channel. I'm going to try and have a lot of fun videos coming out. This is my first actual video, other than some shorts that I posted and things like that. But anyways, I just want to tell you a little about myself. My full-time job, I'm a police officer in Washington State. And I do a lot of woodworking on the side, and kind of just to, take my mind off of work, fun hobby to have. And it's kind of fun. My wife works out in the shop too, so we get some time together out here making some really cool projects. Started as a police officer 2007, and it's a great job. Love it. Hope to share lots of stories on this channel with you guys and answer any questions. If you guys have questions about the job, about what I do, or just police questions, please leave some comments. I'm an open book. I'd love to, kind of tell you about the career and all the cool things that we get to do in that career. So, how I got started in woodworking. So I've always done a little bit of woodworking, fixing stuff around the house and things like that. Several years ago, my brother reached out to me and he sent me a picture of your typical wooden flag back when they were just kind of getting started, the individual stripes and just a red, white, and blue flag with the starboard carved. And he said, hey, that would be kind of a cool project to make. And I looked at it and I thought, yeah, that would be kind of fun. It didn't look too hard, and something I never had made, but I love America and I love our flag, so why not? So I threw one together for him, painted it up, and turned out really good. Now I look at it and I'm like, could have been a lot better, but I've made many, many flags since then. So made it, I sent it to him, and everybody loved it. A bunch of my friends saw it, they loved it, so they started asking me to make some. And I thought, hey, maybe we should just kind of do this and talk to my wife about it. She actually hand carved all the stars for us for a long time. And so we kind of got together and said, yeah, let's make these. Let's advertise a little bit and kind of do this and see where it goes. We've made hundreds of flags. We've sent them across the United States. We've made blue line flags, red line flags, green line flags, silver line flags, regular flags, all sorts of stuff. We've engraved department logos into the starboard. We've kind of done the gamut on flags, and they've been great. It's been a great business. We started our own business, Jordan Custom Woodcrafts, just mainly doing flags for a long time. We do the flag thing, it takes off, and then people are asking us to do other things, whether it be just make a little cabinet for them or some other decoration of some sort. And, we just kind of kept taking it in. My wife is amazing at designing things, coming up with ideas, and then I kind of put them onto the wood. Several years into our woodworking business, we kind of took a break. We ended up doing a move, and then got moved into our new place, and we got back in the woodworking business. My wife kind of started seeing these laser cut pieces that were decorations and stuff, and really liked that and thought there's a lot of potential there. So we got her a laser cutter. I had a CNC that we had kind of gotten as a flag business took off, and we got her a laser cutter. Then we kind of both were doing, she was specializing in the laser cut stuff, I was doing the CNC stuff, she's still doing the designing. And it's just a side gig for us. We're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this, but it's a side gig. We make a little bit of money and we have a lot of fun. And it just kind of is something that we can do together and enjoy. So I want to talk to you a little bit about CNCs. So initially when we got started doing the flag business, my wife, I said, she hand carved all the starboards and logos and all that stuff. And she just used a little Dremel with a carving bit and was amazing, but it was hard for her to keep up with the orders doing that. And it's a lot of work to sit there and hand carve those stars. I'm sure a lot of you have done it and So I kind of started looking at the CNCs and got into what kind of CNC would work for me. And we were still really small at the time. We weren't selling a lot of stuff, and I loved the looks of the Shapeoko, but I didn't like the price at the time. I thought, we're just kind of doing this as a side gig. That's a lot of money to spend. So I bought the Bob's E3 CNC. And let me tell you, it's a CNC, but barely. It, I got it and it did what I needed to. We had a lot of fun with it. We got that CNC. I ordered it up. It was, it was fairly cheap, $700, maybe $600. And it came, no complaints about, the shipping, the product when I received it or anything like that. But I'm telling you what, it's like a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. So I put it all together, and it's basically, all it is laser cut out Baltic birch plywood, like 1/4 inch, I believe, if I remember right. And a ton of screws, and you just screw it all together. And when you build it, you've got this semi-stable CNC. It's driven by bolts. Basically, all thread is what drives it, and then a couple nuts that are kind of jam nutted together for anti-backlash nuts. It works, and I used it. It paid for itself for sure, and it paid to buy me eventually a Shapeoko. But it is a strictly hobby CNC. It is not something you want to have if you're going to do a ton of production work and run a business with any sort of orders and things like that and try and keep up. And I learned my lesson from it. I bought it. It paid for itself. I don't have a lot of complaints about it, other than it's just not strong enough to do a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. So, great CNC machine? No. But good enough if you want just a hobby CNC machine on a budget? Absolutely, yeah. But don't expect it to be keeping up with Shapeokos or any other of the larger desktop style machines. So next machine I got, I get rid of the Bob's CNC machine. I actually donated it to a local FFA group that was getting into CNC stuff, and I thought that'd be great, something to learn on, at least learn how to do G code and put it into it and cut out something you designed in CAD CAM's stuff. So they took it. I ordered a Shapeoko, and I loved it. I thought, holy cow, look how much bigger this is. Super sturdy, and a great project machine. Used it for many years, and again, paid for itself over and over and over, and had a lot of fun with it. But as I used it more and more, I noticed it wasn't keeping up as I got busier, and I was pushing it harder and harder and harder. The V-wheel design, take it or leave it. I'd probably leave it at this point. It worked. It's okay, but it's not the best. It's, you're constantly adjusting V-wheels. The belt design, it's fine. It's no, lead screw or anything like that. Constantly, either making sure the belts are tight or changing belts. You get belt stretch, and it affects accuracy a little bit, but it works great for a basic CNC for, a small business. It worked fine. But the biggest downfall I had with Shapeoko is skipping steps. You would push it and it would run into a knot of wood or something like that, and it would skip a step and destroy your project. Frustrated me. I've ruined a lot of wood with Shapeoko. And it's not, I'm not going to say it's Shapeoko's fault. I probably pushed it too hard, and that's fine. But I wanted something bigger and better, and something I could kind of push out orders a little bit quicker with. So I looked around and I looked around, and then here comes Onefinity. So here comes the Onefinity. I see that as I'm looking to upgrade my Shapeoko to something bigger. I look online, I do some research on it. Ben Myers did some great videos, as well as many other guys, as far as the initial unboxing and showing off the Onefinity CNC. So I looked at that and I was so impressed. I was like, I have to get Onefinity. That is the future of our business, is we have to have Onefinity. Super stout, simple machine. And then the number one thing that sold me on Onefinity, besides how beefy and big it is closed loop stepper motors. And for those of you that are looking at CNCs and wanting to get into the CNC business, closed loop stepper motors are the way to go. I promise you. Like I said with my Shapeoko, I ruined a lot of wood skipping steps on stepper motors. Now, what's the difference, you ask? I know a lot of you already know this, but for those of you that don't really know the difference and you're kind of looking at CNCs, open loop stepper motors, like Shapeoko, Bob's, some of those ones, your CNC says, hey, I want you to move 6 inches. It already knows how much time it has to go to travel that, essentially, and it tries to travel for that time. If it runs into something, a knot, harder piece of wood, a clamp, something that gets in its way, it is not going to move that full 6 inches. It's just going to move for that period of time and think that it moved 6 inches. Does that make sense? I hope so. So what happens is then all of a sudden, if it ran into something, it skips some steps. The motor didn't push hard enough and it skipped those steps. The closed loop stepper motor system, though, when it's moving, it talks back to the controller and tells the controller how far it actually moved. Therefore, it does not skip those steps. When you tell it to move 6 inches, it goes until it tells the controller it moves 6 inches. It measures its movement. This is a game changer for me. I tell you, in building like big wavy flags and stuff like that, that's huge. That's a lot of carving, and when you get down to the end of the carve and it skipped a step and you just destroyed all this wood that you did, that is frustrating. The new closed loop stepper system, amazing. And Onefinity, thank you guys so much for coming up with this. This is going to make me so much more efficient than I used to be. And I want to tell you guys, Onefinity, and I've paid for every one of my CNCs. This is strictly my opinion. Nobody's telling me to say any of this stuff. But I love Onefinity, and I think that it's going to be a huge game changer in my shop. I ended up purchasing the Onefinity, the Journeyman version, which is 48 inches wide and 32 inches deep of cutting. Why I did that versus the Foreman that's 48 by 48 is my shop's not the biggest shop. I work out of a 3-car garage that we park vehicles into as well. So I have one bay pretty much that is my woodworking bay, and I needed it to be a good size CNC, but still a small enough footprint that it doesn't take up the room of the whole shop. So I saved a few, a foot or so in one direction. I can still do the same projects that the Foreman can do. I just would have to tile my projects because it's the same width machine. I just have to tile the depth of it, and that's no big deal. When we get into projects, hopefully I'll show you guys that, sometime here in the future, as far as tiling and things like that, and kind of go from there. So moving forward in my channel, what I'd really like to get into, there's a ton of content on the setup and stuff with the Onefinity. I think that there's great people out there that have already done that, and I'm not going to try and make that better because I think that Ben Myers did a great job. I think a lot of people have done a great job on that part of it. I would like to get into more how to use the Masso controller, because I don't see a lot of stuff out there, and I'm kind of learning too. So I figured we'll just kind of learn together on the Masso controller, and then some wood projects, and any suggestions that you guys have too, as well as like stuff you want to see. I'm game. Let's build some cool stuff. That's kind of what we're here for. So we'll do that and kind of go from there. If there's anything you guys want to see, any stories, I'll try and come up with some cool cop stories too as we're doing stuff. That'll be fun. But any cop questions, anything like that, just leave a comment, and I'd love to answer questions and kind of tell you more about myself. Just reach out and leave me some questions and stuff like that. And again, if you guys could like and subscribe, that'd be great. I'd love to get this channel taken off and just have a lot of fun. We're going to be here to have fun and just build some cool woodworking projects. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I will edit this and try and get it out as soon as possible. Hopefully not too much editing. I think we kind of flowed through pretty good. But anyways, thank you guys again for watching, and have a great day.